Close your eyes. You are running a country. You need oil, a lot of it. Your economy depends on it. Your factories, your transportation, your electricity. Now open them. You can't buy a single drop unless you have US dollars. Not euros. Not yuan. Not gold. Dollars. In 2025, the world bought over $3 trillion worth of oil. Almost all of it, paid in one currency. Not because it's perfect, not because it's stable, but because of a deal made in a desert. In 1974, a deal most people have never heard of. This is the petrodollar, the most powerful financial system you were never taught. Let's rewind. August 15, 1971. President Richard Nixon walks onto television. I have directed Secretary Connolly to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold. Translation: the dollar just lost its backing. Until that moment, under the Bretton Woods system, every dollar could be exchanged for gold. It was trust, backed by something real, something physical, something limited. But there was a problem. America printed too many dollars. Wars, spending, expansion, global influence, and other countries noticed, so they started showing up. Hi, we'd like our gold back. And America didn't have enough. So Nixon did the only thing he could. He closed the window. No more gold. The dollar was now backed by nothing. Just trust. And trust was starting to crack. Then things got worse. The Yom Kippur War. The US backs Israel. OPEC responds. Not with missiles, with oil, production cuts, embargoes, supply shock, prices explode. From $3 to $12 a barrel. Gas stations run dry. Lines stretch for blocks. Sorry, no gas today. Now America had a currency backed by nothing, rising inflation, and oil being used as a weapon. Not ideal. So they needed a new plan. A new anchor. Something every country needs. Something unavoidable. Something the world cannot function without. Oil. Enter Henry Kissinger. He flies to Saudi Arabia and offers a deal. Simple. Powerful game. Changing. You sell your oil in US dollars. You invest the profits back into us assets. And we protect you. Military protection, weapons security guarantees, stability in a dangerous region. In 1974, Saudi Arabia agreed. And soon, the rest of OPEC followed. Just like that, the petrodollar was born. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Because the real power wasn't just selling oil in dollars. It was what happened after. Step 1. Oil is priced in dollars. So if Japan wants oil, it needs dollars. Germany, dollars. India, dollars. Every country, the same rule. One decision, created global demand instantly. Step 2. Oil exporters receive massive amounts of dollars, more than they can spend. So what do? They send it back into US Treasury bonds, US banks, US financial markets. This is called petrodollar recycling. Money flows out and comes right back. Step 3. America uses that money to fund itself. Government spending, debt, military global influence, and that military protects the oil system, which keeps the dollars flowing, which funds the system again. It's not just a system, it's a loop. And here is the genius. America doesn't need to sell oil. It just needs the world to keep buying it in dollars. By the 1980s, this machine was unstoppable. The dollar dominated global reserves. US bonds became the safest asset. American markets became the center of capital. America could borrow endlessly, print money, run deficits, and export inflation. To the rest of the world, economists called it exorbitant privilege, which is a polite way of saying the system was rigged. But the real power: sanctions. Because the dollar isn't just money, it's infrastructure, trade, banking, payments, global finance. If you are cut off, you are not just losing currency, you are losing access to the entire system. It's like being unplugged from the internet. And some countries tried to escape. Iraq, Libya, Venezuela. Different strategies. Same idea. Move away from the dollar. And every time, something happened. Now, to be fair, these situations were complex. Politics, conflicts, internal issues. But the pattern, hard to ignore, challenged the system. And the system responds. For decades. No one could break it. Then came 2022. Russia invades Ukraine. The US freezes $300 billion of Russian reserves. Just like that, money that was safe wasn't accessible anymore, and every country noticed. Because suddenly, those reserves weren't really theirs. They were conditional. So the shift began. China reduced US bond holdings, bought gold. Russia traded outside the dollar. India paid in rupees. Brazil made bilateral deals. Even Saudi Arabia started reconsidering, and the numbers tell the story. Dollar reserves falling, gold reserves rising, alternatives growing. Slowly, quietly, but steadily. And then, here is the biggest threat: oil itself. Electric vehicles, renewable energy, energy independence. If the world needs less oil, it needs fewer dollars, and if that happens, the entire system weakens. Now let's be clear, the dollar still dominates. Most global trade, most transactions, most reserves. No single rival comes close. But for the first time in 50 years, it has competition, not one challenger. Thousands. And that's how empires change. Not with one big collapse, but with small shifts, over time, quietly. Until one day, the system doesn't break. It just isn't needed anymore. If you want to understand power, don't look at weapons. Look at money, because the strongest system is the one everyone depends on.